Good afternoon and welcome to Positive Praise on 97.3 Unity with Love Radio. Good afternoon.
Yes, hi, Auntie Donna. This is Nichelle Taylor. How are you?
Hi, Nichelle. How are you? I am fine.
I am very good, very good. Excited to share some information with you today.
Absolutely. The floor is all yours, my love. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
So just to follow up
Just a
with what
second,
we...
Nichelle, let me do this before you begin.
Okay.
Are you having difficulty managing your activities of daily living? Do you or a loved one need the assistance of a home health aide? Tailored Care can help you find the care you need. We provide the guidance and expertise of an experienced nurse to create a personalized care plan just for you. We provide services anytime, anywhere. Call today to schedule your free assessment at 1-888-712-0569 or visit us at www.tailoryourcare.com. And remember, we care.
Amen. Go ahead, Nichelle. Go ahead. It's all yours.
Yes, yes. Okay. So just wanted to follow up from last week. Um, we covered, some things like high blood pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and juicing and nutrition and how to keep your immune system strong and healthy during this time, especially, but at all times. Um, so I just wanted to follow up with that conversation
Mm-hmm.
and go a little bit more into high blood pressure, being that I know that this is a topic that affects our community. Um, so we're going to start off, this is what we call a crash course,
Yes.
and a
Mm-hmm.
crash course is when you get a lot of information in a little bit of time. So I'm going to try and explain this as clearly as possible. So we're not going to use a lot of big medical terms. However, like anything else, we have to use the building blocks before we can go straight to the point.
Yes.
So I do have a couple of big words that I just want to throw out there and clarify before we get started. The first word is homeostasis. Um, Homeostasis just means the normal state of our body. So anytime our body is out of norm, our body will respond by doing things like increasing our temperature. Your body will do this automatically in order to try to kill any bacteria that has entered your body.
Mm-hmm.
So the same is true with our blood pressure. When our blood pressure is out of norm, our body has a positive and negative feedback system that will regulate the blood pressure on its own. So the body is pretty amazing in that way, that we come with everything that we need. Um, so a lot of people don't even realize what high blood pressure actually is. So let's, go through the basics of that. Um, Anatomy and physiology is something that, we learn in nursing school. And we all hear that word, but we don't really think about what that means. And anatomy just means the structure itself, and physiology just means the function. So if you think about blood pressure and you think about our arteries and our veins, the blood pressure is the speed at which the blood is moving through those blood vessels and those veins. So if you think of a water hose, for instance, a water hose without water in it is, very pliable and it can bend. But once you put water into it, it begins to straighten out. And the more quicker the force of the water is that goes through that water hose, the straighter and more stiffer that hose becomes. So the same with our arteries and our veins. The blood is moving through our veins, and when it starts to move at a higher speed, the veins become more rigid. The walls of the arteries and the veins become more rigid and straight. as in a garden hose with water speeding through it. Unlike the garden hose, our veins are not as strong as a garden hose to withstand that higher speed. So it damages the walls of the arteries and the veins. So when it does that and it's going through at a large speed and it's damaging those walls, we begin to, the walls of the arteries, as they're being damaged, they leave particles in the blood. And that's how where we get blood clots, and those blood clots cause us to have things like strokes. So that is just the process of what high blood pressure begins. And you think, okay, I have high blood pressure. I'm not going to see the effects of that today, but years and years of that blood going through your veins at that increased speed will cause damage to your arteries that cannot be repaired. So it also, I also like to use the example of a rubber band. You know, everybody knows what a rubber band looks like. And the walls of our arteries and veins are elastic, like that rubber band. So have you ever seen a rubber band that's been out and it's old and it starts to harden and it no longer has that elasticity? Well, the same thing happens with the walls of our arteries and our veins. They become hardened, and then when you when the blood flows through, and they should be pliable, they're now cracking and causing leaks in our arteries, which is how we get internal bleeding. So that's just a little background of what high blood pressure is. Now, we spoke a little bit last week about juicing and different ways that you can get the nutrients that you need. So the same thing with high blood pressure. There are certain foods that help you lower your blood pressure naturally. So again, with the juicing, it's easier to get those things that you need that will help you lower your blood pressure. Like you can include garlic, you can include turmeric. These things are natural substances that naturally lower your blood pressure.
That is information for me because I think I suffer with that.
Yeah, a lot of us do.
Yes.
You know, and another issue with high blood pressure and another thing that affects our community is that we don't really know how to treat high blood pressure. There has been, you know, we go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, you have high blood pressure. Okay, well, what do we do about that? And why do I have high blood pressure? And often you'll find that, especially in the Black community, you don't get an answer as to why you have blood pressure. You just get, okay, you have high blood pressure, here's this medication, take this medication and you'll be fine. But high blood pressure, like anything else in the body, is a temporary state. So high blood pressure is your body attempting to correct something that's not right in the body at that moment. And my focus mainly is let's fix the underlying problem instead of masking it with medication. Let's fix the problem. If it's your diet that we need to work on, then let's work on that. And then if it works, then you should see the effects and not have to take that medication anymore. But this is something that goes with finding a good doctor, having a good healthcare team that's going to, you know, really look deep into what the problem is and not just want to give you a pill to cover it up. And it also goes with us as a community really shopping for doctors. You know, I like to impress upon people that, I mean, you shop for a car, you shop for that pocketbook you want or those favorite shoes, and you take time and effort into it. You should put that same effort into shopping for a doctor that can be attentive to your needs,
Mhm.
and that really gives you that feedback that you're looking for. Um, and you don't be afraid to almost interview the doctor.
I was just about to say that, Michelle, that people are afraid because, especially coming from the Caribbean, we see
Hmm.
doctors as authoritarian figures
Right.
that we should not question. We're afraid of people who we are paying. And I want the community to know, as long as you are paying any professional, you are entitled to ask them or interview them so that you get the best
Exactly.
result. You must interview them. Ask them as much question. They are there wanting you to ask, but our community, especially our community, we do not like to ask question. And then when we go home, we said, if me didn't know, me should have asked the doctor that. We shouldn't have asked the doctor that. But I'm like,
Hmm.
write your questions down
Right.
when you're
That's,
going
that's
to see it.
exactly what I was going to say.
Go ahead, Nichelle. My apologies. Go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. I was just going to say write it down,
Hmm.
because when you're in front of the doctor, you're not going to remember everything that you thought of at home.
Hmm.
And you don't want to get home, just like Donna said, and remember all these things that you meant to ask the doctor. And if you get a doctor that doesn't welcome your questions, then find another doctor. Um, because anybody who is truly cares about you and truly cares about what they're doing
Hmm.
never has a problem explaining
Hmm.
the process. And I'm realistic. I've been in the nursing field for over 25 years,
Hmm.
and I'm realistic in saying that some doctors don't welcome questions,
Hmm.
and some doctors are just downright rude, um, and they have almost like a superiority complex, um, that it's hard to feel comfortable enough to ask certain questions. Maybe in your doctor's visit, you're feeling rushed, like he's looking at his watch and he's going on to the next person. Well, these are the types of things that you need to pay attention to, because, like Donna said, they need your business. Like any other business, you have a right to choose who your doctor is for a reason. So they are not an authority figure. They are civil servants, and they are there to help the community. So you need to find a doctor that whose beliefs are in line with yours, and who has the time and is willing to take the time to take your health care seriously.
Hmm. Amen.
Um, and that's not always easy to do. I mean, easier said than done. But like I said, you shop around for the important things in your life. And that is very important, to find a doctor that can follow you from here to the grave. Um, and the other things that go along with all of that is, um, you want to teach your children as well. Teach your children to eat well. Um, I went to nursing school. My mother was a nurse, is a nurse, and I have to tell you, everything that I learned from my mother.
Mm.
But what she learned, she didn't learn from nursing school or nursing. She learned from the Bible.
Mm. Mm.
So, you can teach your kids how to eat just by teaching them the word. And a lot of times, like when about 15 years ago, I can remember my mother drumming into our heads, eat right, change your diet. And, of course, then we didn't pay her any mind. It was like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then as you grow and you start to realize things, and you say, oh, she knows what she's talking about. Let me start, listening. And then, as we all do as children, we go back to our parents and start telling them things as if they didn't tell us already. So,
Mhm.
so we need to also do that. Feed our children the knowledge. They may not listen right away, but the knowledge is there. Um, And it starts there. If you teach them how to be healthy as children, they will learn healthy eating habits and go forward with that. And then you don't have to worry about things like high blood pressure at an older age because you started young, and you know exactly what to expect because you were taught what to eat and how to treat your body.
Mm. Beautiful.
Yeah. So also another part of that is exercising. So with high blood pressure, you have to think of when you stretch your muscles and you work out your muscles, you have the same thing with your arteries and your veins.
Mm-hmm.
When you stretch, you actually are stretching your arteries and your veins as well. So this also is a good way of feeding oxygen into the cells of the walls of your veins just by simply stretching daily. So, um, so there are a lot of things that we can do proactively
Right.
to lower our blood pressure. And, it's simple. It's not rocket science. Long before there were doctors and medication, there was high blood pressure.
I
And there will,
Yeah, I love, and I'm sure the community is loving the fact that you're not pushing medication. They're loving the fact that you're going back to the Bible and how the Bible has everything for us, including a dietary plan and how we should eat, the portions in which we should eat to live. Some of us eat because it is in front of us. Doesn't mean that that's it. We also eat just to survive, not to overeat, and then that comes with its other issue. So let me ask you, tell me a little bit more about tailored care. What do you do? Because now that I hear what you're saying, I like what you're saying. Now tell me, or tell the listeners about the services that you provided at Tailor Care.
absolutely. So one of the unique things about tailored care that separates us from other agencies is that myself and some other nurses that we have on staff here, we follow the care of each client very closely. We provide home health care, but we also provide the overseeing of a nursing supervisor for all your care. So if you are suffering from high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, then we are able to help you regulate those things. The problem is we leave the hospital, we leave the nursing home, and we go home on these medications, and nobody follows up. Is Are you taking your blood pressure every day? A lot of people don't even know that they should be doing that. Well, absolutely. If a doctor prescribes blood pressure medication to you, then you should be monitoring your blood pressure daily to see if that medication is working. If the doctor sends you home and you're just taking this medication, then it could not be working for you, and not only that, you're poisoning your liver unnecessarily because you're on a medication that's not even working. So we've had a lot of clients who've gone home, and this is the case. So we implement a regimen where we're monitoring your blood pressure daily to make sure that you are on the correct medication. We also work very hard because a lot of our clients come home and they're on about 10 or 15 medications. So we work hard at looking at those medications and saying, is this needed? Doctors have a habit of prescribing one medication to remedy the effects of another medication. And then you have three different doctors ordering different medication and then adding on medication to combat the medication they ordered. By the time you finish, you're taking 10 to 15 pills daily. And then you go home and no one's monitoring that. So you can go on forever taking these pills without any further monitoring. So what we do is we monitor very closely what you are taking. We work very closely with your doctor, and we make sure that you are on a medication regimen that is necessary. and
So if someone
amongst
is
other
home
things.
and so if someone is home and they're like, I need help in preparing my food, is that a service that you provide? Like if someone said, I need to go on a diet, I need to lose some weight, is there a plan that your company provide?
Absolutely. So we provide basically any service um, that you can think of
Mm-hmm.
because um, we work within the community. And I always say that there's someone in the community, there's always someone in the community that can get the job done if you just find that person.
Mm-hmm.
So, what we focus on is finding you the right person for the job. So, no matter what the job is, we have some clients that just need transportation
Mm-hmm.
to and from doctor's appointments
Mm-hmm.
or social activities. We have some clients who just need meal preparation.
Mm-hmm.
And what we do have clients who need a specific type of meal preparation, like they request a cultural meal preparation.
Mm-hmm.
So we do go the extra mile to find that person that can make the meals that you enjoy, because I think that is a major part of living. You know, you have to enjoy your food. And even, you talked about people losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
And, one thing I always say is that the focus should not be on weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
The focus should be on eating right.
Mm-hmm.
And weight loss is a side effect of eating right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we also do have weight loss coaches that will be able to help you tailor your diet
Mm-hmm.
to your specific needs.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, and we also offer childcare.
Yes.
And at this time, a lot of people are needing childcare because the children are home.
Mm-hmm.
And not everyone has the luxury of staying home and being able to homeschool.
Mm-hmm.
So they need someone to come in and sit with the children. So we have been providing that service as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so, and basically anything that home care encompasses, we are able to provide.
Sounds great. And now give out the information. How can people find you?
Okay, so we are located at 141 Parkway Road in Bronxville, and you can reach us at our office at
Mm-hmm.
1-888-712-0569. You can also reach us at our local number of 914-346-6087.
Could you repeat
That
that
toll
one?
free number.
Yes, repeat, but
Sure, I
yes, a
will.
little bit slower.
That toll okay. That toll free number is 888-712-0569. Again, that is 888-712-0569.
Mm-hmm.
And you can reach out to us at any time. We are a 24-hour service, and we will be happy to assist you. There's no notice too short and no job too small.
Great. Well, I want to thank you, Miss Taylor, for reaching out and offering this services to the community. It's well needed, and I want to thank you and your company for being a part of 97.3 Unity with Love Radio. We will see you again next week, same time, same place.
Absolutely. I thank you so much. God bless you and take care.
Thank you very much.
Are you having difficulty managing your activities of daily living? Do you or a loved one need the assistance of a home health aide? Tailored Care can help you find the care you need. We provide the guidance and expertise of an experienced nurse to create a personalized care plan just for you. We provide services anytime, anywhere. Call today to schedule your free assessment at 1-888-712-0569 or visit us at www.tailoryourcare.com. And remember, we care.
And I have a couple of questions on the blog for you that I didn't see, Nichelle. Someone wants to know where is your location if you're based in New York, but if someone in Florida needs this kind of services, would you be able to offer those services? I'm not sure which of the blog you're on, but this question was asked on YouTube. So if you can go over to YouTube and find that person, and I'm sure she will be able to get you the help you need. And someone on Facebook is just so happy for such information. Everyone have their pajamas. We're going to wait for Reverend Paula to come up and give the word and the wisdom moments, thoughtful moments with Reverend Paula coming up in a minute.
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in the time of trouble.